Imagine losing the person you love because a mountain stood in the way. Most people would have accepted it. One man decided to change it. His name was Dashrath Manji. He lived in a small village in India where a massive mountain separated his community from the nearest town. To reach a hospital, people had to walk nearly 70 kilometers around the mountain. Then, one day, tragedy struck. His wife, Falguni, was seriously injured while bringing him food. She needed medical help, but the journey was simply too long. She didn't survive. The next morning, Dashrath made a decision that sounded impossible. Armed with nothing but a hammer and a chisel, he began cutting through the mountain, alone. People laughed at him. They called him crazy. They said he was wasting his life. But he kept going, every single day, for 22 years. Slowly, the solid rock gave way. When he finally finished, he had carved a road more than 110 meters long through the mountain. The distance to the nearest town was reduced from nearly 70 kilometers to about 15. His work changed the lives of thousands of people. The man everyone laughed at became a hero. Dashrath Manji proved that determination is stronger than stone. Sometimes, one person really can move a mountain. This story is absolutely insane. Imagine surviving one deadly accident. Now imagine surviving 7. Meet Frane Selak, the man many people call the luckiest or the unluckiest man alive. It all started in 1962. Frane was traveling on a train through Croatia when it suddenly jumped off the tracks and crashed into an icy river. The accident killed 17 people. Most passengers never made it out. But somehow, Frane escaped with only a broken arm and a few cuts. You'd think that was enough bad luck for one lifetime. It wasn't. Just 1 year later, Frane boarded a small passenger plane. During the flight, something unbelievable happened. The cabin door suddenly flew open and Frane was pulled out of the aircraft. The plane crashed, killing 19 people. Miraculously, Frane survived after landing in a giant haystack. Most people would never fly again. But Frane's streak of unbelievable accidents continued. A bus he was riding drove off the road and plunged into a river. He escaped. His car suddenly caught fire while he was driving. He got out just seconds before it exploded. Years later, another car accident forced him off the edge of a mountain road. At the last possible second, he jumped from the vehicle and grabbed onto a tree branch, while his car fell hundreds of feet below and exploded. Somehow, he survived again. After cheating death over and over again, something even stranger happened. In 2003, at the age of 73, Frane bought a lottery ticket. Against impossible odds, he won nearly $1 million. Imagine surviving disasters that should have killed you, only to become a millionaire years later. Some people believe he was cursed. Others think he was the luckiest man who ever lived. But one thing is certain. There has never been another life story quite like Frane Selak's. This story will restore your faith in humanity. One ordinary man saved more than 2 million babies without becoming rich, without becoming a celebrity, and without asking for anything in return. His name was James Harrison. When James was just 14 years old, he faced a life-or-death situation. He needed major chest surgery, and during the operation, doctors gave him multiple blood transfusions. Those donations saved his life. Lying in his hospital bed, James made himself a promise. If I survive this, I'll spend my life giving blood to help other people. Years later, he kept that promise. But when doctors examined his blood, they discovered something extraordinary. His blood contained a very rare antibody called anti-D. At the time, thousands of pregnant women faced a deadly condition where their immune systems attacked the blood of their unborn babies. Many pregnancies ended in tragedy. Doctors realized James's blood could be used to create a treatment that prevented this from happening. Suddenly, every single donation became incredibly valuable. So James kept coming back, week after week, month after month, year after year. He donated blood more than 1,100 times over 6 decades. He never complained. He never wanted attention. He simply showed up, rolled up his sleeve, and helped save lives. Scientists estimate that his donations helped create treatments that saved over 2 million babies. Think about that for a second. 2 million children had the chance to grow up because one man decided to keep a promise he made as a teenager. James Harrison never wore a cape. He never called himself a hero. But to millions of families around the world, he will always be one.
This story is proof that your biggest setback can become your greatest strength. At just 17 years old, Hugh Herr lost both of his legs. For most people, that would have ended every dream they had. For Hugh, it became the beginning of something incredible. As a teenager, Hugh loved mountain climbing. One winter, while climbing in the mountains with a friend, they were caught in a violent snowstorm. The freezing temperatures trapped them for days. By the time rescuers finally found them, Hugh was barely alive. He survived, but the frostbite had destroyed both of his legs. Doctors had no choice but to amputate them below the knees. Most people expected his climbing career to be over forever. They were wrong. Only months later, Hugh designed special prosthetic legs that allowed him to climb again. He refused to believe that losing his legs meant losing his future. That determination led him to MIT, where he became one of the world's leading scientists in bionic technology. Instead of asking what he had lost, he asked what was possible. His team created advanced robotic legs that could walk naturally, climb stairs, run, and even adapt to different terrain in real time. Thousands of amputees around the world have regained their freedom because of his inventions. Athletes, veterans, children, people who thought they would never walk again. Imagine losing both of your legs and then creating technology that gives thousands of other people their lives back. Hugh Herr didn't just overcome tragedy, he transformed it into hope for millions. Sometimes life doesn't end when everything falls apart.
Every story leaves behind a shadow, and some truths are too dark to be forgotten.